So I'm often asked why I focus on digestion, why I focus on the gut, and why nutrition is so important. And they go hand in hand. You can't have digestion without the nutrition, of course. But there's so many variables that come into play. I often think as little as 50 years ago, our world was a completely different place. And the world that we live in today, the environment has lots of toxins, whether it's air pollution, noise pollution, things that are used in our food supply and the processed foods. There's just so many more additives and chemicals that the body has to deal with in the food that we're eating and the environment that we're exposed to that we have to pay attention to that. The one variable, and why I love nutrition and food so much, the one variable that we have absolute control over is what we put in our mouth and the choices we make in the foods that we choose. So helping people learn what are healthier foods, what are the more natural, less processed, healthier foods for our body. That's what excites me, and that's why I focus so much on nutrition. And that's the first step. The second step is how well is our body utilizing those foods? How well is our digestive system working, and how well are we able to get the nutrition from the food to every cell of our body? So that's kind of what I want to talk about. Digestion and nutrition are the two most important things. They're the foundation of health. They're the foundation of wellness, and it's extremely important that we understand that. Now that we're talking about the cell, let's look a little bit more closer at it. The human cell is the fundamental unit of life. I'm going to repeat that because it's really important. It is the fundamental unit of life. We are made of trillions of cells. And the cell, whether it's 1 or 100,000 or a trillion, they all have 1 or 2 goals in mind, and that's to maintain their function and to maintain their structure. And they cannot do that without the nutrients that we're providing from what we eat and our digestive system delivering those nutrients to the cells. So what are the nutrients? The macronutrients are the carbohydrates, which that's your fuel. That's what gives the cell the fuel and the energy it needs to perform its function. We have proteins. Those are the building blocks, the amino acids, that literally what provides structure to the cell. And then we have our fats. The essential fatty acids are extremely important. They're what allow the cell to be more pliable and be more fluid and flexible as opposed to being very rigid. So when the cell membrane has its proper proteins and has its proper fats, that cell membrane is very pliable and mobile, fluid, and it allows nutrients in so that it can produce energy and replicate or repair, and it can allow the waste, the metabolic waste, out. So your carbohydrates, your proteins and fats, the macronutrients are extremely important to the functioning of the cell and producing energy and allowing it. Doesn't matter whether the cell is an immune cell, a heart cell, a nerve cell, a brain cell, they all need those basic nutrients to perform their function properly. How do we ensure our digestive system is working optimally for us? There's many things you can do. Stress management, there's a lot of lifestyle things. Stress management, chewing your food, slowing down and really being present when you eat, not eating while you're driving down the road, being present while you eat and slowing down, chewing, breathing, just kind of calming down when you eat will totally support the proper functioning of the digestive system. But beyond that, we can add digestive enzymes. We can make sure in our world of being fast-paced and not being perfect, we can give additional assistance to the digestive process. And digestive enzymes, supplemental digestive enzymes are no different than your own enzymes within your digestive system. They're just adding assistance. It's kind of like an analogy I often use is if I had some help cleaning my house. If I had a maid service or cleaning service come clean my house, then that would allow me to get my house clean much faster and more efficiently, and it would spare energy on my part, and it would free me up to go do something else that might be more important than cleaning my house. That's the same when you take digestive enzymes. You're assisting that overall process. It's getting done much more efficiently and more effectively and allowing the rest of your body and energy to be spent doing other things. When it's not taking over the job, it's not taking over your body's job so that it's going to eventually not be able to do it on its own. If at some point you don't have the support of the supplemental enzymes, your body will have to work a little harder, but it'll still be able to do that job. May not be as efficient as you'd like it to be. So our goal here is making sure we're getting nutrients to the cells as efficiently and effectively on a day-to-day basis, every day, 24/7, as efficiently and effectively as we can. Probiotics literally means pro means for and biotic means life. So it's for life, it's pro-life. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria. They're supplemental beneficial bacteria that are naturally found in our digestive system, in our GI tract. And they produce their own enzymes, so they further support complete digestion of food that enters the small intestines. They are part of our immune system. They're our body's first line of defense. And there are statistics I've seen anywhere from 80 to 90, 95% of our immune system is housed in our gut. That's the first place our immune system kind of tests the waters of what we're putting in our body and is very protective and supportive of us. So having the proper balance of good bacteria within your GI tract on a regular ongoing basis is extremely important. And one of the reasons that gets out of balance over time as we're moving through life is taking antibiotics, literally just taking antibiotics for a cold or an infection, depletes the good bacteria in our gut. And I know myself, growing up, I didn't know about probiotics, so I didn't know I needed to replace them. Now I do, but there are a lot of people that don't realize if you've been on an antibiotic, it's really important to replace the beneficial bacteria in the gut. Another way that we can get a depletion or an imbalance of our beneficial bacteria is, again, in our food supply, because some of the animals that we eat are given antibiotics just as a prophylactic for them to keep them well. But when we consume that animal product, we're also getting those antibiotics without even knowing it. If you consider what we're putting into our digestive system, healthy food or unhealthy food, regardless of the choice of the foods, if our digestive system is not working properly, the cells aren't getting nutrients. If they're not getting nutrients, what are they getting? Well, they're getting chemicals that is a form of the food that the cell does not recognize. So it then becomes a toxin. It becomes something that is poisonous or at best not beneficial for the health of the cell. You could eat broccoli, and if you didn't digest it completely, that larger molecule that is not the vitamin, mineral, or nutrient of the broccoli is now delivered to the cell, and the cell can't use it. It doesn't recognize it. So it's toxicity. It's something that doesn't allow the cell to function properly. Over time, if we're not dealing with that toxicity, what goes in, if it does not come out, the toxicity builds up internally. And the environment in and around the cell is now not one that's conducive for its health. We're not only not delivering nutrients to the cell, we're creating a very polluted environment around that cell. Remember, the cell needs to draw nutrients in and expel the waste. But if that environment around the cell is toxic or polluted, that messes up the whole transaction of nutrients in. So if that toxicity builds, again, we're working on this ripple effect. From the digestive system, we've got a layer of toxicity in and around the cells. Eventually, the cells are going to start malfunctioning. They're going to be damaged. They can't repair themselves. And what is that third layer of the ripple effect is what we call inflammation. It is literally damage to the cell. And if the body cannot repair quick enough, if it cannot help the cells quick enough, you create more and more inflammation, and depending on who you are, it manifests as those headaches. It manifests as weight that can't be lost. It manifests as skin irritation or hormone imbalances, joint pain. That inflammation affects us all differently, but that ultimate end result of not digesting and creating toxicity and manifesting as inflammation somewhere in your body, damage to some system or part of the body not working properly, it can look like literally anything. But that is why We always go back to the gut and what we're putting in it and how well is it working. The good news is you can make better choices on your food and you can support your digestive system. And some of the top benefits that I have seen with the clients I've worked with are, first of all, better digestion, better bowel movements, less bloating, less burping, belching, getting rid of the acid reflux. So just overall better digestion. You know, it goes in and it comes out in a timely manner and your body uses the nutrients. So better digestion, better energy, bar none better energy. And people tell me all the time they sleep better when you're actually giving the body what it needs. It uses those nutrients for the energy and it's able to actually sleep at night. I mean, the body's just working how it should. So better sleep and better energy during the day. Skin clearing up, and the women love that. And losing weight. Without even trying really, because again, when the body's working as it should, it naturally rebalances and supports your metabolism and your energy production, and actually the weight just comes off without you even trying. Less joint pain, less stiffness, you just feel better in general, so more vitality. A stronger immune system, much fewer infections, less allergies, some of the just common everyday things that I know a lot of people just assume that's the way they're going to live their life, but they clear up and their immune system is just much stronger. Hormone imbalances is a huge one because a lot of that starts in the gut as well. And it's supporting digestion and taking care of overall nutrition is the way the body's supposed to work, and it just supports overall vitality, health, and wellness. Hi, my name is Lisa Helfrich-Hudson, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and licensed dietitian, as well as a nutritional consultant, educator, and author. I have been working with digestive health, digestive enzymes, and probiotic protocols for probably the last 18 years. A big part of my career has been teaching other healthcare professionals and the lay person about the benefits of digestive health, the use of enzymes and probiotics as supplements. And I've written a book called The Ripple Effect of Toxicity, which explains a lot of that, explains a lot of the benefits of digestive health and nutrition to benefit overall health and wellness.